Focus. Fly. Keep growing.
Hey, what's going on, car guys and car gals? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy, and I am here with the queen of Clubhouse. We are still brewing solutions at WIA. What's happening, Michelle?
What is up? We are back, and yes, we are brewing solutions here at the 2021 Women in Automotive Conference here in beautiful Orlando, Florida.
That's right.
If you're not here, where the heck are you?
What are you doing?
Right? This is where the party's at, right?
That's right. This is exactly where the party's at. And these lovely ladies, this dynamic duo from ACV right here, they're actually sitting right behind this picture that you're looking at of them. They are here to ignite this incredible event and try to make sure that things are moving in the right direction. But in order for things to keep moving in the right direction, do us a favor, get your friends in here, tag a car guy, tag a car gal, and make sure that you do share this around. Share it from the Car Guy Coffee page. You might have a much better time being able to do that. But car guys and car gals, we want to make sure that you are brewing solutions with the best. So I'm going to put this little timer out there. Try to make sure that you get a friend up in here so that we can be brewing with the right beans. We will be right back.
Again, thank you guys so much for being here live from the 2021 Women in Automotive Conference. We have a dynamic duo, one of our proud sponsors, ACV Auctions. And guys, these gals, they brought an entourage. This is literally...
They do. We got a crew over here. We got a whole crowd. Check
so
them
guys,
out.
Big round of applause for everybody at ACV Auctions. Super excited to have them as a sponsor. And we have Sallie, Reid, and Patton, both from ACV Auctions. Guys,
make them welcome. Give them a hand, everybody.
Woo!
Yeah, they are up inside of the cafe. Welcome, ladies, to the Car Guy Coffee Podcast and to WIA. How excited are you to be here today?
We're very excited.
And this is your first time at a Women in Automotive event, right? Yes?
Yep.
So what made you guys decide that you wanted to not only come down to this event, but also be a sponsor for this incredible event?
Because that don't come easy. That's not an easy decision, right? You only sponsor things that you're really behind. So that's a great question, Michelle. I love that.
Yeah, it is a great question. And certainly, obviously Women in Automotive has a lot of impact in the industry. And so, of course, we would want to support as best we can.
Wow, that's incredible. And so inside of that, I mean, ACV, I don't know. Have you guys ever heard of them?
Just a small.
You ever seen
company.
them? No, right? And inside of that, they tend to get behind some pretty incredible things that are happening inside of the industry. Why is it for you all so important that you do champion such an incredible event that is pulling so many female champions to the forefront? Why is it that it's that important to you all?
I think for us, it's really just knowing that there's so many women that today is a great day for women in automotive, and we're going to keep advancing. And so we want to be behind all of what's going on right now. It's tough. It's a very tough industry as we look to less inventory and things that we're struggling with. We've got COVID still very relevant in many states. So right now, it's just great to be in person with everybody.
Oh man, there's nothing like meeting in person, right? I got the queen of Clubhouse over here. She's queen of talking to people with the ring around them, right? Yeah. But there's the connection piece of people being present. I mean, Michelle, what is it to you that makes something like this and incredible women like this so much of what makes us thrive, right? I mean, us talking to each other, it's cool, right? but we love talking to more people that are brewing some big stuff. I mean, why do you enjoy this so much?
You know, there's so much camaraderie that I think has really evolved over the course that we've seen, especially of the last decade in the automotive industry with women. You know, and as I've said several times today, I don't think that we saw this kind of connection 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. There was a lot of cattiness that really went on in this industry, and women got it not only from, you know, the male aspect, and it's nothing against the men in our industry. We love our boys. But when you're a woman who is representing in this industry, and sometimes you're the lone woman, I think sometimes you feel like a guppy in a shark tank. I know that's how I felt. I was 18 when I started. And, you know, I didn't have those women mentors. I didn't have that foundation. I had to figure it out myself. And so as somebody now who's been in the industry over 20 years, I almost feel like it's an obligation where I have to pave the way now for other women, and to be able to come to an event like this where you not only have the mentorship, but you really have incredible women who really believe in supporting other women. And I think that that's something that took far too long to accomplish. What do you guys think about that?
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed. Absolutely. And right now it's paving that next step.
Absolutely.
For the next generation and for those after that to come. So for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we spent a lot of time talking about, growth, developing, mentoring, right? And a lot of it is setting the example, right? It's not just talking the
100%.
talk, it's
Come on.
walking the walk,
Come on.
right?
Put that in your cup and sip on it, folks. I love it.
You can talk all you want, but you actually got to deliver. right? So
Brewing
you're gonna say,
solutions.
get
That's
out
what
there
we're doing.
and put yourself out there and go and grow relationships, show how it's done, right? Set the example so that others can follow, right? And learn from what you're doing. That's how we all learn, whether it's about that, whether it's about other things. So it's just really important that, if you believe in something, that you live it every day, and then others will follow.
No, and I couldn't agree with you more. And especially right now, you guys work for the auction. So I cannot even imagine how much is coming at you guys. We've got this economy thing. We've got the chip shortage. We have a lot of dealerships right now that are solely relying on the used inventory because they can't get new vehicles.
Facts.
Obviously, you guys have seen an influx and an increase in pricing and things like that. How are you guys handling that from the auction perspective? Because I can only imagine what is getting thrown at you guys right now.
I'm going to jump ahead of you because in this line, as we like to say, we were built for this.
Exactly.
Come on.
There we
Come
go.
on.
There
Come
we
on.
go.
Say that. You gotta say that.
We are
Come on.
automotive. We were built for this. I love it.
We figure it out. We move forward. We work with our dealer partners. We make sure we've got our folks trained the right way, and we move forward. So this is what we're built for. So here it comes.
And
Man.
I think really it's about the relationships, the partnerships
Thank
that we've
you.
built with the dealerships all over the United States. Right now it's handling that piece of it and making sure that we can find new ways to get the inventory to the dealership and be on the lot.
Have to
love
be
that.
innovative in these times, and I mean, I'm in brand strategy and I do social media and all kinds of things for dealers. And that's one thing that we've told them, like, we all right now, we need to come together. We have to think outside of the box if we want to grow. And I think the dealerships that are doing a great job of that, they are thinking outside of the box. They're targeting and marketing to their current client bases. I think those are the dealerships that are really going above and beyond, and they're trying to create solutions for a problem that we're all facing right now in this industry. And I think it's been really great, really, to just kind of watch how things have evolved. We went through a crisis, but like you said, we evolved. We're built for this. The one thing that I think is so beautiful about automotive, and not just automotive, but women in automotive, is that I've really seen people come together in 2020 and 2021 and realize that we're all facing the same thing. And that as an industry as a whole, we have an obligation not only to our people, but to our customers and beyond. And we really have to come together, and we got to figure it out. And you guys do a fantastic job of that. I can't even imagine working in an auction right now. Can you?
No, I mean,
I couldn't
wow.
do it. I'd be like, tap out. No, I'm good.
Here's the thing about that is that there's so much that complements this industry, right? There's so much more than just getting the car. There's so much more than just selling the car. There's so much more than just fixing the car. This is such an intricately woven together business that if one thing does pluck its way out, the whole thing can crumble, right? And you all do find a way to connect with some incredible people doing what it is that you do, but you don't go through it alone. I love this, that we got a dynamic duo that's right here on the actual podcast together. And it's a great announcement to what it is that I see happening at this entire industry. It's that it's not everybody for themselves trying to figure out their own way.
Right.
It's you all teaming up together to say we're going to go way further if we're going to go together. And the great part of having a partnership, right? So again, I don't know how much you all work together. I really don't, right? All I know is that I have an incredible partner inside of this podcast that I get to team up with, and we do some great things because our weaknesses complement our strengths, and vice versa, right? We have the moment to shine where the other one really wouldn't step up, and vice versa on every angle. But we get the chance to cover each other's weaknesses. We get the chance to also enhance each other's strengths. What would you say to people that are considering letting others into their lives to be able to help advance their career? What would you say to that, and how has it helped you all?
So, Pam and I have very different roles in the company, but we're able to work together, right, to make sure that we're taking care of our teammates and then delivering, obviously, to our dealer partners and customers. So we kind of lean in, not only Pam and I, but all of us together. So something that someone is stronger in, we lean in on that. If it's something that you need help with or you need someone to lean in, we do that as well across our entire organization. And so also having the courage, right, to ask for help when you need it, and also having the ability to lean in and not feel like, oh, that's my space or that's my area, and be open to people helping one another. So especially as you're kind of navigating through things right now, right, they're really complicated sometimes, but in reality, a lot of times they're actually simple. You've just overcomplicated them. So if you kind of go back,
I wish we had a gong. Like
right.
simple,
Bing bong,
ding
hello.
dong, yeah, right?
So you just go back, figure out what the real problem is, because usually what you're trying to solve isn't the real problem. It was 12 steps ago. So if you do that, then you're able to kind of move forward and get the right people involved, whether, for us, it's in our product technology group, whether it's in the field, whether it's someone in one of our functions at headquarters, and just get the right help and don't be afraid to ask for it.
Ooh,
love
man,
it.
that's
Like we say in
stuff.
sales too. You can't actually get the sale until you get the no and uncover the real objection, right? It's all about uncovering those objections. And I think too, speaking of objections, we have a lot of women that may have entertained being in the automotive industry in some aspect or another, but they have this idea in their head that it's something that it's not, right? We love our industry. One question we've asked women all day today, and what I love about you guys is that you represent a dynamic that's different, right? You're not actually in the dealership. You're a dealer partner. You're working with the dealership. What advice would you give maybe to a woman that's interested in changing her life, changing her career, but she's terrified of maybe being in sales or terrified of being the woman in the man's world? You guys have risen above that status quo, and you're doing something different. You're not in the dealership, but you're still doing extremely well. You're down here, obviously, with all of these amazing women. What advice would you give? There's tons of them. We have an audience, like I said, they brought an entourage with them. So what advice would you guys individually give to a woman that might be considering a career in the auto industry, but she's timid and she doesn't want to go into the dealership role? What opportunities are available for her?
I think right now, just not even the opportunity side of it, but to the first part of your question, it's, reaching out to those that you see are already successfully doing it well and learning from, right? So it could be some self-development classes. It could be a book. It should be lots of books right now because we have time to do that for sure. But I think it's anchoring with those leaders that you see doing things well and learning from them. As far as opportunities, there's tons of opportunities. There's so many different companies right now, including us. We've got lots of things going on. So feel free to go to ACV and you can see all that good stuff. But it's not just about being in the dealership. It's technology. It's looking at the different ways that we're going to be innovative and be able to take things to the next level.
I absolutely love that. And so inside of that, we have a comment from Mary over here. She said, move center mic closer, right? So that means that sometimes there's things that we put in place. Sometimes there's things that we align up with that because we're trying to do the very best that we can inside of industry. But every now and then we may set something in place that isn't quite pulling from the people that we have around us what needs to pull. You both obviously speak a little bit softer than the other ones that we had on here, right?
Really?
And the mic was a little bit further away at the moment, right? So, but
That's
inside of that, there's an intention, right? I can sit here and just say, oh, forget it. Show must go on. We're going to leave the mic there. And maybe we're going to hear their voice. Maybe we're not going to hear their voice, right? But it does take somebody taking the intention to make sure to make the adjustments, make the move, put the mic where it needs to be so that you could be heard, but also shift the things inside of our business so that those that have a voice get the chance to stretch that voice out. Because sometimes you stretching out your voice where maybe you don't get the chance to do it so much, it then empowers the next person to say, well, if she can speak, I can speak. If they can step up, I can step up.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of examples or what things have you seen where big adjustments have happened and have opened up the floodgates for, again, you all to be out here with their entourage, with your crew?
So I think, your analogy is pretty spot on, right? So I talk a lot all the time about, pivoting, right? You'll make a plan, you'll work the plan, you'll say, oh, I've been here for a certain amount of time. This is what I think I should do at 6 months, at 12 months, at a year. And that's not always going to happen. You have to be ready to pivot, right? You have to say, okay, this is what I thought, this is what's really going to happen, and not be afraid of that. You mentioned, very early in your dealer career, kind of how you felt. My first job out of college was at a dealer.
Mm.
my
Time
goodness.
ago. I worked in a dealer during the day. I worked from 9 to 5 in the office. And then I went to grad school every day, 6 to 10,
Ooh.
drove, right?
Did the same.
And the
Worked through college. Yep, at the dealership.
and interestingly enough, obviously there was a sales team there, and they were always really good at like talking about what they did. And so even way back when that was, I always worked with really great folks in dealerships. And actually one of the gentlemen that was early in a sales career is actually a dealer principal at one of our customers now, which is
Mm.
pretty
Wow.
cool
Wow.
to kind of see that. But way back then, I always had worked at dealers where they really did try to like grow and develop people within, and they really did try to get people the opportunities. And we had a lot of women salespeople way back then, even, which was not as usual then. But so I've always kind of had that belief, like we deserve to be at the table. So it's not ask,
Facts.
it's kind of like you deserve
Fact.
to be at the table.
I love
Because
that.
I've always been respected that way. And then I owe it to others to make sure that they feel the same way as well when you kind of talk about the mentor.
And I think that's a culture thing too, right? The culture starts from the top down.
Come on.
So if you don't have somebody at the top that is embracing those ideals and those values and even embracing females in that role,
Yep.
it's going to trickle down to your other management, whether it's in sales or finance or even on a service side, whatever it is. So I think that you hit the nail on the head there, that you had that experience because it started at the top. You had that culture. And to hear that from something, however long ago it was, I've been in 20 years, 21 now, and I didn't see a whole lot of that. But to hear that, that's really refreshing to know. And I would love for you to give that store a shout out, to be perfectly honest.
Yes.
I'm
Shout
going to
'em
not
out.
give a shout out here. We'll talk about it. When we do the next time we're with
Fair
you guys,
enough.
we'll talk about
But
that.
stores like that, they deserve some
They
praise
do.
for putting that out there. And as long ago as it may have been, that they're sticking to that. That's really good to hear. So.
Yeah, and actually a few of the women that I worked with back then have seeded out into other dealers in the meantime as well, in a lot of different roles. So I can kind of watch what happens.
This
from the
really is a
folks that were
springboard
there.
industry.
Yeah.
I remember, like I said, I started in sales, and then I went into F&I, and then I was a GSM and I went through all of those roles. And now 7 years, I've had my own branding agency. It really does open the doors for so many different opportunities, I think, for women. And that's why I think it's so important that women understand there's so many opportunities for them
100%.
within this space, that they can do so many different things.
So many different things.
So
So many different things. And see, this is the part that's just getting this little mama's boy's heart pumping up right now, right? Is that I don't get too many chances to, on the live show, have my mom show up to the show, but my mom is here right now watching. Hi, Mom. How are you,
love
Mommy?
it.
Love you.
Love
So
it.
excited that you're here. And see, so many of the things that seem to have been the limitations for women in the industry, I've never understood them until I saw blatant holdback, blatant walls built to keep women out. I didn't recognize that. My mother is one of the strongest closers I've ever met in my life. I had to learn how to close just on convincing her on certain kinds of sneakers I wanted in life, right? I had to work up an entire dissertation. I mean, I was ready for objections and all that stuff to make sure that I got that deal closed. But I've never seen her scared to walk inside of a room and hold it down. I've never seen her let anything hold her back, whether it was going to college, working all the jobs, right? Making sure that everything had to be taken care of and everybody in the house is getting taken care of. The thing is that the auto industry should be enticing to incredible people like her too, that come with incredible skills, whether running bank branches to making sure that communities are coming together. But women that have, whether they're young or they're a bit more seasoned, they've been out, they've been exposed to corporate life, they get held up by still the stigma that's on the industry. And what I want to make sure to let other people like my mom and people that are just like her understand is that there's a lot of us that are coming together that are no longer scared, that are no longer held up by it. And there is an audience for those that actually want to step up to the plate and be the best versions of themselves. But sometimes their family, like they feel as though their family's getting in the way. How inspiring is it to you to see Erica Tiffany here with her baby? She's got her daughters here with her. Well, how does that make you feel? I mean, what kind of an example is that for people right now?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, right? And I think the fact that nobody even kind of questions it, right?
No,
shows how far we've
no.
come and kind of where we're going, right? I mean, everyone's like embracing that. And I do think that is, obviously, the world is evolving. And I think that is just part of where we're headed, right? Where we are not just our work selves or your home self. It's one person, right?
Mhm.
And so those things converge, and that's who makes us, what we are. It helps us bring your A game at work, right? If you feel like you have to leave part of yourself not at work, you can't then take great care of your customers. You can't take great care of your teammates, right? Because that's your whole person.
Mhm.
The fact that your mom dialed in, right? Pretty spectacular.
Yes,
right?
that's awesome, mommy. I love you.
But I think for us as leaders, our job is really to mentor and train and develop our team. And so that's our duty that we have daily.
Takes a village,
So,
I think, especially in this day and age, and bringing other women up in through the auto industry. We do, like you said, as leaders, we have to set the example. There's a big difference, I think, between leaders and managers, and the leaders are the ones that are really stepping out and they're making a difference for everybody in this industry. And you two are just a shining example of that.
You're showing
Thank
that. And
so
your
much.
industry embracing that is your company, right? Embracing you all and encouraging you all to keep promoting this message. I mean, it's very easy to pull the hand off of something that has some good momentum. And we were talking about it a little bit before we started the show, that it's like just every conference, not just this one, but other conferences that are shaping out, a little bit more people are coming, right? A little bit more people are getting out of the box. A little bit more people are okay with getting out. What would you say to anybody that's considering getting out to the next? I mean, we're about to finish off the year, right? I cannot believe this. We're in the middle of December, right? Of 2021. 2022 is going to have all kinds of hurdles and curves for us to maneuver around. But what would you say to anybody that's considering getting out there and starting to shake it up inside of industry right now?
I mean, from my perspective, certainly want people to do things they're comfortable with, but there's a lot out there in the industry, right, that can kind of be a fit for everyone's comfort level. So if you're at the comfort level of going in person, then I'd encourage you to go in person. If you're at the comfort level of you're not there yet, then I'd encourage you to get engaged. There's all kinds of things virtually, right? Remote.
Right.
And so don't use that as an excuse not to grow and develop. Just find the things that make you comfortable and then do your best, to achieve on those.
Just get on Clubhouse if you can't make it in person. We're all there.
Spoken by the queen herself. That's right. And Demetrius Naylor jumps back in and
Love
says,
it.
just do it. Just get out there.
do it.
Do it. Right? Don't be afraid. I mean, Michelle, with what's happening and all of these incredible people that we're over here brewing solutions with, one, I'm absolutely loving this. I can't wait
I
to
love
do
it.
more of this tomorrow with so many other people. But inside of that, there's a value that we are all pulling out of each other, right? Where the heat is still getting turned on to us, right? Things are still shifting, especially in your world. I mean, oh my goodness, trying to access inventory. Wow, what a percolator that is, right? Because things can get really, really great and things can just crash down. We're seeing so many people that are wanting to know how to get to the next level. How do people get a hold of you so that they can figure out how to actually fuse that into their business?
As far as how to get a hold of us
Yeah.
specifically,
Go to our ACV auctions page,
absolutely.
go ahead and there's a contact link on there and it'll connect you to our teams and we'll get you all taken care of and make sure we connect you with those who can help you grow.
Absolutely.
Well,
And
awesome.
it's acvauctions.com. Is that correct?
That is
Exactly.
correct.
There you go, guys. Head on over
ACVauctions.com.
acvauctions.com. Super, super excited to have these beautiful ladies and their amazing company as sponsors this year for the 2021 Women in Automotive event. And what do we got to do before we leave?
Well, we got to make sure that everybody does know that our friends over at ACV are 100% CGC approved. Thank you so much for being on the show with us today. And there is something that we got to do. I got to be honest with y'all. I got to be really, really. I've tried to take my time a little bit because my partner in crime is supposedly about to show up. He's driving here probably crazy fast. Usually I'm the crazy fast driver, right? But he is trying to get here right now, and I've been trying to delay this, but ultimately the show must go on. He might come in here in the last seconds of the show, but we have to apply 3 Fs. Now, I want to discuss the 3 Fs real quick, just to make sure that you understand that, because in this business, we can drop a whole lot of F-bombs. Right? Have you ever heard an F-bomb in this business? 1 or 2, maybe a bunch, right? And they usually all rhyme the same. They all sound like trucks, right? But with that, we drop a whole other kind of F-bomb inside of the cafe, and that is forgiveness, focus, and flying. And there's so much that's tied up inside of that. Forgiveness is an intense thing, right? It could take you through lots of emotions, lots of back and forth, lots of turmoil, but it's an intentional thing too. Like, you can't wipe off forgiveness without the intent to do it. It doesn't just, whoops, today I just forgive them. I didn't know what happened, right? You have to make that decision to do so. And inside of this industry, again, people can be jaded, people can be marked, people can be scarred by the trying to move forward, whether it's females held them back or it's other men that held them back. Maybe it's other businesses held them back. They have to wipe that weight off so that they can focus on what they can do. And then they can stretch out in faith and fly. Faith will be tied into such an incredible ball of explanation. But inside of that, ultimately, the faith inside of each other, the faith that somebody else actually may open a door for you to go to the next level. But a lot of times I have to trust myself. I have to have faith in myself to step out and do what it takes to get to that next level. And that's the F-bombs that we try to drop here inside of the cafe. And that's to forgive, focus, and fly. Have you ladies ever applied those 3 F's inside of your life? Forgiving, focusing, and flying? Have you?
And maybe the other one too.
And maybe the other one too.
I love her true honesty.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Yes.
If any of my team is seeing this, I'm being honest. I'm joking.
Just this one.
So they know. Let's see if any comments came in on that. That's
Love it.
awesome. Heck yeah. Well, let's do what it is, car guys and car gals. You know what the deal is, and that is to wipe off the weight of unforgiveness, focus on where it is that we're going, and fly so that we can all keep growing. You know, we got to get some tunes on this right now as we get this going. So, car guys, car gals, and all you solutionaries out there, help us. Go ahead and put your hands on your shoulders one time, and on 3, forgive, focus, and fly with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing. Keep growing. Thank you so much for joining us. I am Lou Ramirez, the car guy, and I am here with the queen, Michelle McLean. And I am so happy to have Pam and Sallie from ACV Brewing Solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast and over here at
Women in
WI.
Automotive.
Where is it we are again?
Women in Automotive.
Where do they need to be tomorrow?
2021. They need to be here with us at this table, of course.
That's right. You need
There
to
we
get
go.
on out here. Car guys and car gals, we do want to make welcome the one, the only, the subprime hero is here. Fred, jump up in here. Yeah! Make him happy. We are right there, buddy. Check it out. He made it, folks. Finishing off this
I've
show.
watched most of this. You all ladies are amazing. The dynamic
Oh,
duo,
thank
there's no
you.
doubt about it. It's impressive to hear what you have to say about the industry, about what you do, and so glad to be here finally. Sorry that I made it late, but better late than never.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's
Bring that
right.
energy and have some fun. So let's keep it going. I'm going to jump out
Yes.
of here.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. Car guys and car gals, now we are officially Brewing Solutions at the Women of Automotive event. The car guy and the subprime hero is here. The queen of Clubhouse is up in here, and we are ready to take it to the next level. So make sure that you get out here with us and have some fun. Again, we love you all. Appreciate you all. Say goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much. We out. See you tomorrow.